Everyone, and welcome to the Sandbox. We have a special video for you guys today. We are doing the first ever Cosmere character draft. We are going to be drafting 5 characters each and pitting them against each other in the Battle Subastral. You guys will let us know at the end of the video who won. And with me today, we have a special guest from the Cosmere Connections podcast. I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves and let us know what work you guys have coming out.
Hello.
What's going on?
Hey, guys.
Get ready to rumble. Let's do this.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
welcome. Thanks for joining me today, guys.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Reader, why don't you tell them what we're all about?
Oh, absolutely. So we're a Cosmere reread and review podcast. I think we're the only podcast currently that does a spoiler-free section where we cover a chapter-by-chapter reread and review of what happens in that chapter, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll do a spoiler section. So anybody that is reading it for the first time can catch all the important information, whilst anybody who has read the Cosmere can log into that little spoiler section and see all the little connections we made and watch us argue about Realmatics and characters and Brandon for 30 minutes at a time.
Love it. Well, we're going to be doing plenty of arguing today when we draft our own teams.
I'll fight you.
So let's get into the rules. They're simple, but they are plentiful. Starting off, no shards. We don't want a whole slew of shards for everyone. That's no fun. And that includes characters that are being manipulated or assisted by shards at any given moment, which we'll get into in a second. No shards also means no Hoid. He's the one off the table. Okay. Actually, there's a third. No Lord Ruler. He's a one-man army. We don't need that. I think we can all agree as well. No heralds or unmade from Roshar. Just a little bit too powerful, too crazy. But besides that, the only limitations is that when you draft a character, I just want you to simply say what point of the story you are drafting them from. Are you drafting early Final Empire Vin? Are you drafting late Hero of Ages Vin? You know, it's up to you. It's perfectly fine. I expect most of us to just pick the latest iteration of that character, and that's certainly fine. But if you really, really want Kaladin when he's imprisoned without Syl and Words of Radiance, I mean, go nuts. It's fine. That's your choice. When you draft a character, you will have their abilities and any items or resources that they had at that moment in the canon published story. So if you are going to draft, for example, Navani, you can have some Fabrials with her, of course, because that is something linked to her identity as a character. But aside from that, there's no theoretical abilities. If you're going to draft a Ghost Blood, you can't say, well, they're a Ghost Blood, they might have this. No, we have to have seen them use it in the canon story. We have to know they have it, know what their limitations are as a character. But besides that, I think we're ready to get started. Cool. So starting us today in round 1 is going to be Swiggity, and we're going to do a snake format for the whole draft. Just going back and forth.
Excellent. So I get to go first. That means I have my whole pick here. Whoever I want, pretty much.
All for the taken.
Oh, boy.
And I guess following along with that, I'm going to pick somebody rather obvious. Not a very niche pick here, but I've chosen Dalinar.
Oh, wow.
Oh, dang. Okay.
See,
The main man himself, around Rhythm of War era, so he's about as powerful as he, is going to get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I was not expecting a Dalinar.
You should have been. Somebody was going to take him.
The thing is, in my mind, I was like, Dalinar either has Stormlight and giving Stormlight, or you can pick him when he's the Blackthorn, in which then he has a weapon. But like when he's the Bondsmith, he doesn't really have a weapon. But when he's the Blackthorn,
what version are you? What version are you drafting, Swiggity?
So this is Dalinar pretty much any time during Rhythm of War. So he's the ability to give Stormlight is the main thing here.
Okay.
He can open honors perpendicularity.
That's a good support, right?
Not to play
I
against
think it's the
myself,
ultimate.
but I would argue that even at that point, without a weapon, he is still a formidable opponent. We see him wrestling with his Ardents unarmed. We see him performing the last clap against Zeth in Words of Radiance. Like, he is a formidable fighter, even without a shard blade.
Oh yeah.
I think he is an amazing first pick.
Oh yeah.
You can't go wrong.
Matt, who you going with?
Zelion.
Whoa.
Legit.
Okay.
Legit.
Okay.
Good pick.
Wow, I did
Coming
not see that
forth
coming.
from the rays of the sun, armor scorched, heavily depressed from the loss of his spren, surges in power returned once more to him, blade and plate.
Oh man.
Is he a full
okay.
Skybreaker at that point?
I don't think we know if he reached the
We
fifth
don't-
ideal. At
we
the very
don't
least, he
know.
got the fourth.
But apparently, well, I won't say that 'cause it's a spoiler. We're gonna avoid win and truth spoilers today. Okay, so I am shocked that he is still on the board, even though I'm only pick 3. But I'm gonna take Nightblood.
Yep. Legit.
Ooh, okay.
Yep.
Good pick.
Good pick.
Yeah.
John, you get 2 in a row now.
I get 2 in a row. Okay, so I'm going to go with Shallan. Basically,
Damn it.
as she is fighting in Shadesmar. Crap, I think that might be during the wrong book. But I'm not exactly sure at what point that is. I didn't do enough research. Either way, we'll go back and we'll just take the massive horde of illusions. That's fine. So
Okay.
I'll wind that back until to where I make my pick.
Cool. Kicking off round 2. What do you got next, John?
Okay, so round 2, we are picking the Admiral from Sunlit Man. She has
I knew someone was gonna pick that.
she has control of the Dread Fleet, all of the shades underneath it. She can control them directly, and that is all she does. So we have a horde of illusions followed by a horde of
Wow.
ghosts.
Well, don't you now technically have a perpendicularity? Because don't we know that if you kill a bunch of shades at once, there's like something going on with a perpendicularity there?
So
Or is that only on?
we don't have the direct mechanics of it, but there is enough investiture with these shades that they can do some very perpendicularity-like things.
Scary.
So
Okay, but are we allowing, being able to summon the Night Brigade?
it's literally her only trait.
Aside from commanding the living members of the Night Brigade, the Admiral can also control the Brigade Shades. But, that's assuming, are we bringing Shades into the Battle Subastral as well?
I would argue they are part of her equipment in the same way Syl is part of Kaladin's equipment.
So anybody with a spaceship can bring their spaceship.
Specifically, it's the Night Brigade Shades that I'm after here. I don't care so much about the ship and crew.
I'm going to give him the shades. He doesn't get crew. You're not allowed human aid. Just one character per. But I will give him the Vata shades. That's fine. Okay.
So you got Shallan and Avada Shades.
Yep.
It's all coming together.
Wow. Okay, so I get to go next. I did not think these first 2 would be on the board, but I am thrilled. I'm going to take Yasna from as recent as I can from Rhythm of War.
Okay.
Oh, shoot.
Good pick.
In my strategist column, I had Zelion and Yasna right after.
Yeah, I was like, if these 2 are both gone, I'm screwed, but I'll figure something out. I'm glad.
Yasna's a great pick. I didn't choose her for one very specific reason that, we can talk about when it's time for the actual brawl.
Sure.
Oh, shoot. Okay, I'm going to take from my healer class, I'm going to take Ryaina, who is, we see her in Mistborn Secret History. She's part of the Irie. She's also the sorceress in Tress of the Emerald Sea. So we've got an Elantrian, an old Elantrian before the Riode, and somebody who can manipulate investiture in a way we have never seen.
Dang.
Okay. There you go.
Okay.
The big bad from Tress.
That may or may not have been on my list.
Swiggity,
So I
You
guess
ready
it
to-
falls to me.
Yep.
I'm gonna pick Renarin. It's my second choice.
Ooh, I actually had him for like late round 5 for me.
Very nice.
Renarin Colin.
He was my third
gotta-
pick
you gotta-
in my healer class.
You've got a team of Colins there, Swiggity.
So, yeah, we'll just wait.
Okay, good. Round 3, all you.
Oh, it's me.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, lucky me. I'm gonna pick Kaladin.
Oh,
Just going full Stormlight.
Yes.
Can you blame him?
yeah, that's fair.
All of their powers work together, you know.
Mhm.
Quick note: is somebody writing everybody's down so at
I
least
have.
one person?
I got him down.
Okay, great.
I'm just crossing them off my list as they get taken away from me.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing too.
A real fantasy draft, yeah.
Okay, do you guys want to hear from my fighter class or my tank class next?
Well, which one do you think is more important to your team? Let's be strategic about this. Pick the more important of the two.
I'm going to take my tank class, which is going to be Marsh, from the end of
Oh,
Ooh.
dang it.
Hero
Oh,
of
that's
Ages.
That's a happy pick.
Nice.
So
Very nice.
Pretty much a
You got
full
Marsh.
born- Yeah.
Oh, dude, you stole him. I think I started with a different strategy, but at some point he was like key to my plan.
Dang it. I had Marsh and Shalon as my 2 options for 3. Okay, all right. I'm gonna go with my boy Wayne.
Nice.
Oh, good
as,
pick.
As late as I can get him alive.
All right. That's great.
So when he has the spike, it's like right before he explodes. Dude.
No.
So
No.
Mistborn Wayne.
No, I just need his speed bubble.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. I am going to pick someone very controversial, I'm sure.
Don't you
I'm
dare.
picking Telson Ladrian.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I had that one.
Seriously?
Really?
I
I
did,
picked-
yeah.
I pick her because she comes with liquid investiture. She's going to keep Shalon fueled. And if we're really pushing it, I don't really know what the army of brass or gold or whatever it is was, but if she, like, her whole thing is she's bringing that across, right? So more minions in the soup. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Horde army,
That's smart.
unlimited investiture. Let's go.
Cool. You ready to kick off round 4?
I am choosing Susebron the God King.
Oh,
He was on my
dang.
list too.
Yes.
I
And
totally
do you know
forgot.
why
Damn
I'm
it.
picking Susebron?
You can tell us in the
Oh, yeah.
strategy if you want. You can
I
hold on to
could,
it.
but it follows
No,
the
I-
theme.
No,
It's just
I mean,
unlimited awakening, man.
You're just picking
Oh,
armies. You're picking armies.
And that's why I'm gonna win.
See, Susebron can't even do much. All he can do is awaken and then waken the soldiers, and then he has like no battle experience, no combat experience.
He doesn't
Right,
need it, dude. He's gonna beat you to death with carpets.
Oh shoot. Okay. Well, um
All right, who's next?
yeah, I think it's me. I think I'll take lift.
Nice.
Good pick.
Okay.
Good pick.
Second on my
I need to heal, and if I can pick off any of John's armies, I'm sure they've got rations.
I don't know. Shade Army, Stone Army, Light Weaving Army.
Hey, Susebron doesn't have a tongue, but he still needs to eat.
Yeah, that's true.
No. He definitely has a tongue at the point I'm picking him because he needs
Oh,
that
that's
to
true.
say the commands.
That's true. That's
Mhm.
true. Yeah.
It's also the most powerful point we see him in the book. So
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have an Awaker, so my Fighter Awakener is going to be Denth, one of the 5 scholars.
Ooh.
nice.
Okay.
Good pick.
Had-
Oh no.
Pretty much beaten Vasher with the exception of that oh, he sucks. He gets gifted breath and it stuns him for a quick second. So he was the better swordsmaster, he said. So I'm taking
That's not fair.
Denth.
That's not fair, man.
See,
All right,
what
right
I
now,
did. Sorry.
what?
So what I did is I went through each of the books and I went to every single villain who they fought, and I'm like, okay, who did they pretty much lose against if
Lose
there
against,
wasn't
yeah.
any sort of bull crap that got in the way? If Marsh was taken, it would have been Zane.
Insane
That's
in the
fair.
membrane.
I definitely have him on as in my soup of characters that I'm drawing from now. Right now, I have Dalinar, Renard, and Kaladin.
Yeah.
So I gotta get somebody.
You've got healing
Somebody
and
from-
flight.
I know, right? Like I gotta get somebody who's got an attack. It almost feels like I should just stick with the Stormlight people, so they all kind of work together. But you already took Lift.
Sorry.
I'm gonna pick Zeth from the
Oh.
prologue to Way of Kings.
Oh,
shit.
Interesting.
okay.
So he's got the honor blade.
So when he's most stable.
Yeah. He's beginning a journey. We're in the middle of it.
Yeah, stable is debatable.
All right, Swiggity. Last round. Who you gonna round out your team with?
My favorite character of all the Cosmere, Cosmere.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I can't believe he's still on the board this long. Nice.
Yeah.
Great pick.
I mean, he's a great character.
Which version of Kelsier
which
are you
version?
drafting?
Just like mid Final Empire when
Okay.
he's breaking into.
Okay.
That's a good call.
See, I would have taken him at the end at like Lost Metal. He was in my strategist pick. All of my strategy ones were basically people with realmatic, cosmeric knowledge, people who knew about other magic systems. Oh shit.
Wow.
Okay. This one is my suicide bomb. This is the thing that's gonna sit in the
This
back
is it.
and never be touched unless all hope fails.
This has been built up, by the way. We
Yeah,
just
we've been
recorded an
talking about this.
episode,
We've been trying to think about it for like 3 days now.
and he's been talking this up so much.
Let's hear it.
This is one of the greatest weapons in all the Cosmere. The Father Machine from Yumi and the Nightmare Painter.
Oh, okay. Wait, is that a character or is that a?
It has
what?
if Nightblood is allowed, then surely the Father Machine is. It
Yes,
has
but
a
Nightblood is-
That's
consciousness.
fair. It's awakened, right? Yeah, you're right.
It's awakened. It has a cognitive aspect.
is.
When you turn it on, it sucks up any investiture in the area in order to power it, and it creates
Does it-
invisible investiture shields to protect itself.
But does it talk to you?
It
I'm
sends
lying.
people out
You're
to
fine.
talk.
You're totally
That
fine.
is my, in case all hopes fails, flick the switch, everything gets sucked in and dies.
Wow.
Okay. I
man.
think I have a good counter pick to that.
I think I already have one. Okay. I'm gonna deviate a little bit from my strategy, but still kind of tangentially related. I'm gonna take Vire with the Honor Spren, not Honor Spren, Wind Runner Honor Blade. He
So
also
two
has
Jes-
at this point in Rhythm of War, he also has a dagger that kills cognitive shadows.
I don't know
Well-
if it matters, but Zeth already kind of has that blade from when I picked
two
him.
Jezreel blades in one fight. This is going to be great.
Oh, that's true. Hmm.
If we're pulling across different points of space and time, then surely we can allow like same weapon.
Well,
It's totally up to you.
I'll change. I'll go to Lopin at I guess doesn't really
Interesting.
matter. The end-
Velopin
the end of
uses
Dawn Sword.
full name.
Lopin and
Lopin.
Dawnshard.
I will
Nice.
take Velopin. Yeah.
Okay.
Last pick, John.
Last pick, John.
Yeah. I'm just looking up the name because I'm pulling a last minute audible here.
Oh, shit.
Uh, and it's really not a big change. Is it this one? This
I
one.
gotta say, I'm surprised. I got pretty much all of my top picks that I thought were gonna get taken.
There it is.
You guys are going for the most obscure people. I'm like,
I know.
Oh, I've been thinking about this a lot more than is realistically like
That's why
appropriate.
awesome. I
I
love
had
it.
like a whole list because John was like, "I've got 3 lists," so I had to like,
Hey,
I don't
does
know what.
nobody does nobody want Venli? Come on, guys.
Nope.
Bentley's on mine.
I don't even like her as a character all that much.
Actually, no, Bentley isn't.
Okay.
Ravoniel is on mine.
So my last pick is Nikolai. Or Nikley.
Neekly the Sleepless.
Yes.
Oh shoot, I had a
Really?
sleepless in mine.
Yeah, I was
no.
debating between Nikley and Misaka from Yumi, and I decided to go with Nikley because Nikley has a little more world experience and seems a little more willing to jump into the fight. Whereas when we see Misaka, she's more like, I don't want to be a part of this. I just want to be a human. So we're going with Nikley.
Of
He's going to be
course.
my scout. He's going to be
You're hyped.
my director. He's going to be eyes on where the threats are. Yeah,
All right,
he's
all right.
I had Alahala with Ador on my list as well.
you want to simplify that into standard Rosharan?
I don't know. One of the sleepless.
Oh,
I had a sleepless on my list as well.
gotcha.
All right, so we'll go in the same order. Swiggity, I'm gonna let you state your case. Why is your team the best? Let the viewers know why they should vote for you in the comments below.
Okay, well, my team consists of Dalinar, Renarin, Kaladin, Zeth, and Kelsier, all of which are extremely powerful characters, as you know. Dalinar, able to give maximum, almost limitless Stormlight to Renarin and Kaladin and Zeth. So he's going to be powering them up a lot. Plus, he's a master strategist. And I think that his Bondsmith abilities alone are very unpredictable and could be some hard counters to like some of John's armies here, right? Also, Kelsier, he's like at the top of his game, he was able to take out a Steel Inquisitor just by himself, and Renarin is going to be able to heal him at any time. Zeth and Kaladin just flying around. You can't beat it. They both have shard blades. There's going to be 3 shard blades all together. I don't think the Million Ants are going to be able to do anything about it.
I'm feeling not threatened.
They can just fly away. It'll be fine. All of them can fly.
Hey, you've got 2 great great strategist minds of Dalinar and Kelsier. You have 2 general leaders with Kaladin and Zeth, and you got a guy that can see the freaking future. I think you got a good team. Not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely
And
solid.
plus the healing, Renarin's healing
of course
ability,
you're
and they
healing,
all have. That's pretty much my case.
When do I get to poke
Strong
holes in
guys are strong.
Yeah. Reader, go ahead and make your case.
For my team or against Swiggity's?
For your team only. Just why is your team the best?
Okay. So my team has some of the biggest heavy hitters of the entire Cosmere that if, like, I got Denth and Marsh, who I think Marsh pretty much won in Era 1. He killed Elend. Nothing stopped him. He was pretty much able to beat Sazed at one point. Denth should have won against I forget his name on
Vasher.
Vasher.
Just go with
Thank
Vasher.
you. Vasher. I was going with Zahel, but Denth was pretty much able to beat Vasher, and Vasher had said multiple times he's the far superior swordsman. This is somebody who was also one of the 5 scholars, has also been to Rashar, has also one of the greatest people of the entire Nalthis history to create one of the great things. I don't remember what thing he made, but he created one of the most. He's an excellent fighter. You've got Marsh, who an Inquisitor we've all like in their prime. They said an Inquisitor could take on like 1,000 men. With Atium as a almost full-born, considering all the spikes he had pounded into him. He was a
Right.
Lord Ruler. Elend or I think it was Elend pretty much said, I am facing the Lord Ruler in that
Oh,
final
yeah.
battle. And he was burning ATM too. Ryaina is an Elantrian, which the book one Elantris was just a debuff for how ridiculously powerful Elantrians can get by immediately burning all the books, setting all their magic knowledge back. Ryaina does not have that limitation. She left before the Riode. She has all that knowledge. We see in Tress that she is Tress. Yes, Tress of the Emerald Sea. We see that she can manipulate identity, connection, investiture in ways we have no other comparison for. She can heal, she can attack, she can do whatever the heck she wants.
See, this is where I wish I'd have picked Kelsier like later down the line because he might know something about that.
Oh,
Like Final Empire Kelsier is not going to have any idea when Elantris magic starts popping off.
that's true. That's true.
Exactly. I tried to pull something from everything. I tried to pick people who were cosmically aware and tried to pick from different magic systems so no one thing can attack
That's
them.
fair. That's fair.
Zellion, Shard Plate, Shard Blade, Dawn Shard to just skip away in case he needs to. Was taught by Hoyd, has been to multiple planets, has fought Shades at least at some point, has the power of flight, and has the power of just blowing stuff up with his fingertips.
That's fair.
Strong, strong case.
And the
Which
Father Machine.
we
Sorry.
won't talk too much about Division just because we see more of that in Wind and Truth, but we do know about it if you've read it. We won't talk about it to avoid spoilers for you in case you haven't, but it is quite strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a thing.
And the Father Machine, which basically sucks up all investiture in a continent-sized area. We saw the effects of it in Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, how it just sucked in everything when it was flipped on, and when
That's
it
crazy.
gained the cognition, it was able to create force fields made out of investiture to protect itself, to heal itself. It was making the pieces that had broken, it was able to make new ones out of the investiture it was gathering. Just plop that into, John's Shade army and they're toast. Drop it into his light weaving army, they're toast. Drop it into his breath army. I don't know what it'll do to the ants, though.
Oh, it'll just be turned off by them. Just gonna chew that power cord right out.
But I feel like I have the most balanced team of just heavy hitters. They will destroy everything in their way.
I will say the Father Machine was kind of a curveball. Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
I approve.
Wasn't planning for that.
I was going through the list and I was like, oh shoot, what? Because I was like, okay, everybody's going to be looking at the main characters, but let me look at the villains. Because we ruled out the Lord Ruler because he would have won any fight. The only reason he lost is because Vin was souped up by preservation, and we were ruling out Shardic intervention points in time.
I think he could have been taken by a Shard Bearer. All you have to do is literally disarm him.
He taps speed. Okay, that's a whole different argument.
Yeah, I mean...
Okay. I'll state my case. I went into this wanting the most annoying team I could possibly think of. I wanted a talking sword that's going to haunt your dreams. I wanted someone who is pretty much trained by wit to make you feel bad. That would be Yasna. I wanted someone who is known for annoying you and stealing hats, and that is Wayne. We were talking about this before we started recording. John is not a big fan of Lift. A lot of people are not. I picked him for a very specific reason. I'm going to annoy the crap out of his team with Lift. And of course, the Lopin is one of the most hilarious and annoying characters in all of the Cosmere. If you even come 5 feet within me, I will make sure that you feel bad. Okay?
I feel like
I'm going to annoy you. Now, where the actual strategy comes in, I do not have a continent level Nightblood like the Father Machine, but I do have Nightblood. And I feel like with all the characters you picked, they are all, not all of them, but a lot of them are bloodthirsty and they might be tempted by him. I do have a good general in Yasna. I have someone who has speed bubbles. Who, if you just create a bubble, if you walk to the end of it, create another bubble, you're pretty much tapping speed as a Farukamist in a sense.
Also, I think in the last
mhm.
battle, he was able to move his bubbles with him.
Yes, I think so. But yeah, lift obviously you can glide around. Lopin can get me the aerial evacuation if I need. We got some healing, mainly annoying, but we got some some healing, some time shenanigans, and above all, Yasna is the most important because if you guys start coming out with investiture weapons, I'm just gonna put up a dome of aluminum.
Yeah.
I think Yasna would end up murdering everyone else on the team.
Yeah, that's the thing. I
She
think,
would take
Absolutely true.
That
Nightblood.
is a legitimate worry of mine, but I was hoping you wouldn't say it. Okay.
yeah, I was thinking Wayne just puts up his bubble. They're like team huddle, everybody, and just Yasna spends 3 seconds in that bubble and immediately just picks up Nightblood.
Nope, you're
No,
smoke.
she doesn't even
You're
have
smoke.
to. She
You're
just
lightning.
I mean,
she
the
just summon.
Lopin,
I
the
think if
Lopin
she
itself.
knows that if she knows it's them or anyone else, like I think she'll choose them to stay alive. But that is a worry of mine. Yeah.
Like, she knows how annoying the Lopin is. She surely knows how annoying Lift is. Together, they're super annoying. You add in Wayne into that.
Oh.
Yeah.
The fandom has already done, like, so many Lopin and Wayne's crossovers.
The Lopin, Wayne, and Lightsong walk into a bar.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I'm
add
really
on
not even
Nightblood.
relying on powers. I'm just gonna blab at you guys the whole time, just annoying you. Leave me alone.
The
That would
only
probably work really well on Kaladin.
Yeah. If Yasna gets sick of it, she can just go to Shadesmar for a bit. Okay, like she'll be fine.
She's gonna be the only survivor.
yeah.
Yeah. Do any of you guys have anyone that can go to Shadesmar? I don't think so.
Dalinar
Yes, Shalon can.
kind of do it.
Oh, Shalon can. She's not as experienced in it. So if we wanted
Yeah.
to play that game where we could just wait them all out, it might come down to Shalon and Yasna. But I'll say that we can't. I'll say that we can't leave the Subastral.
The arena.
Yeah.
That's fair. Because
That's
if that was the case, my money would. Oh boy, I don't know who I would pick. Probably Yasna, because she might pay.
I would pick Wind and Truth Shalon, but because we're not doing that, I would go with Yasna.
Fair.
I want to check to see if can the skipping do between the realms.
Can you send somebody else to Shade? Because that'd be pretty powerful.
She has not learned how to do that specific art by this time yet. We've gotten a lot of quotes, even in Wind and Truth, that she still has not mastered that. So
Yeah, and Shalon is not capable of bringing others with her. So
right again, why did no one
Gotcha.
pick Bentley, guys? Come on, she's right.
Thought about it.
What do you see on Skipping Reader?
There's only information on between planets. There's nothing saying that.
I think it's fair that you could jump long distances with Zelion in the arena.
So I got teleportation.
Yeah. Okay, John, let's hear it.
All right. So we have Shalon, who not only can summon the Horde of Illusions and keep everybody distracted while she slips a dagger in their back, she's also been successful at killing everyone she's ever tried to kill in the books. She is an assassin extraordinaire. And really doesn't need a whole lot more explaining than that. The Admiral from the Sunlit Man commands some of the most deadly and scary things that we've seen in the Cosmere. Just literal, deadly, life-draining ghosts. Armies of them. Basically on demand. Like, hello. Yes. So we have those thousands, and then...
Aren't you worried about them killing your own men, though?
Well, see, that's the thing. She has this magic technological whip thing that controls them.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
The
so
continuity chain?
Yes,
Continuity
I believe
chain,
that's what they call it. Yeah, so she can control them pretty much perfectly. So then we move on to Telsin Ladrian, who comes with jars of liquid investiture to keep us fueled up and fighting, right? And
jeez.
best part about these liquid investiture things is when she uses those to fuel up her allies, they don't fuel up everybody else in the area like Dalinar does.
Oh.
Yeah. So my investiture refueling ability is just my team. whereas Dalinar, anybody who can take an investiture has it.
Okay, quick
Question?
Isn't it just ambitions though? It's not like it's unkeyed investiture like what the
I don't
Ghostbloods
believe
had.
it says specifically, because at one point they talk about it being liquid door when the other crew gets a handful of it.
And
What have we seen them do with it in the books?
they make a perpendicularity, and the mistings can use it to burn metals, can't they? Because that's how they get rid of it.
They basically soak it up to hyper
So it's
fuel
just
their
raw-
elemancy.
It's
It's
just
just
raw
raw
investiture.
investiture.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
But
fair.
the argument
Yeah.
could be made, doesn't Harmony say she's invested into the planet? That Autonomy had invested into the planet and was a part of it? And
Yes, but
based
they
upon-
were bringing that investiture over to make an artificial perpendicularity. That was their goal, so that they could bring over the Golden Army, which is the other half of the Telsin Ladrian pick. She comes with her army of automatons.
That's not
So-
Telsin's
The Golden Army that she's bringing forward, that's like her whole goal. So
Autonomy's army.
Yeah.
What are they made of? I forget.
We don't know.
We don't see them do a whole
Ready?
lot. They are described as I can't remember if it's the brass army or the gold army, but they
Men
are
of
metallic.
gold and red.
That's it, the men of gold and red. So presumably there's some kind of investiture powered robot. That's my interpretation of that. We don't see them do a whole lot, but they don't have to do a whole lot. They just have to be bodies on the battlefield.
That's fair. If you're using them for bodies, okay.
You've got the hordes, man.
I do. This
Yeah,
whole thing was
he just
all about
bought
getting as
armies.
much as I can.
He's got
which-
he's got all the hordlings. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, geez.
So and Susubran on top of that, who can bring things to life, and when they're no longer in fighting shape, he can suck back that breath and waken something else. It could be that guy's sword or that arm from that automaton that was severed over there. Whatever he needs, he can give it the command, fight on my behalf, and it goes. Never mention the fact that he's also pretty beefy himself.
Reader, Swiggity, you guys down for a little Sunmaker's Gambit?
I was also going to say, if we're allowing this army bullcrap, then I think the Father Machine should be allowed to bring in all the nightmares. Then, if we're allowing all this character has access to an army, then
Can Susubran awaken? I thought he was missing his tongue.
At the end of the book, he's healed by Lightsong.
Yeah,
So you're picking it after that?
Yes, I have to, otherwise he's useless.
you picked him. Yeah.
I was gonna pick him, and that's like part of the reason I picked Renarin too. It was like, oh, I can heal him with Renarin.
Renarin is a great choice. Renarin is in both of my other lists.
Yeah, I had him too. I had him
The
and
thing
most
is-
of my healers.
there are like no healers in the Cosmere. I got Rhyna, Lift, Renarin, and then pretty much Raoden, and then Night Watcher.
Yeah. Well, they're working on
there's-
a music-based Cosmere novel, and I have a feeling that just like the way that tones work, it's gonna be like a healing type of thing. I don't know why. It just gives me those vibes.
But also, you don't really need healers in the Cosmere as badly as you do in others, because anyone who's invested has some level of internal healing, would be it
Natural
burning
healing,
pewter, stormlight healing, whatever. So you don't really need that. But yeah, and then rounding out the list, we have Nickley, who is a sleepless, made of bugs. He can just send out his little swarms all over there. He can coordinate the battlefield with perfect information at instantaneous speeds. He can sneak behind enemy lines to chew through power cords on father machines. He's valuable not just because he's numbers, but because he is also communication. He is network and coordinating, and if need be, he can be a saboteur.
Hey man, shard blades can turn into fly swatters. Just saying.
Yeah, but they are limited in how big they can get.
Okay.
Big
Well,
old
hey,
still swatter.
floor is open to everyone. You can make your rebuttals, counterattacks. The option's still open, guys. If you want to do some Sunmaker's Gambit, if you know, you know. I'm down.
Okay. I feel like I don't know where to begin on. I still call bullcrap on John being able to just summon any character with ties to an army. I feel like that's cheating on so many levels, because then Marsh can summon all of the Koloss then that were used in Hero of Ages.
And Dalinar has like all Colin's
didn't-
armies.
Yeah.
What's your method of transport for when these 5 people are taken to the Battle Subastral? How are they getting there?
Yeah, if they can summon them, then that would be
Well,
one thing.
presumably
Shalon-
everybody's being put there outside of their control. Like I mean, that was my assumption, is that they are being placed in this for the battle royale aspect of it.
Okay.
So
did Susabron bring carpets and rugs with him, or?
I didn't imagine that. I imagined Susabron being a late game fighter. So once people start dying and losing limbs and having, miscellaneous robot parts that he can awaken, he'd be awakening that stuff on the battlefield on the fly.
Okay, so he's like reviving dead bodies into awakened bodies. I see.
Yeah, he's basically a necromancer on my team.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Okay, so Susabron doesn't get access to all of his statue soldiers because I feel like this is just the person appearing in a neutral battle zone.
Yeah,
so
yes,
Susabron's army is out. I'm going to systematically get rid of John's army. Watch this.
I love it.
The Admiral just appears not on her spaceship, so her Shade army is out.
We've already established she's allowed the Shade army, but not the crew of the ships.
Yeah, she's allowed the Vat of Shades.
Okay. Shalon,
What
I
kind
will
of shade?
give you. Shalon, I will give you because she creates the army out of Stormlight.
Which is
Telsin, I don't think
by Telsin.
Telsin, I don't think we ever see her have any connection to the tubs of investiture that Autonomy is bringing in. She's mostly just fooling around with wax. I don't think we ever see her in the
culmination of third Wax and Wayne book. Right, it's the third one, or is it the fourth one? I don't remember. It's been too long.
Fourth one.
She is orchestrating the workers bringing this stuff in. Like that's where the final battle's happening. They're bringing that stuff in. They're dumping it in the little pool they've got going, trying to get it big enough to make a perpendicularity. And it gets full enough to the point where Wax and Wayne can look through it and see on the other side the soldiers.
It wasn't Wax and Wayne. It was Marassi. Your argument is invalid.
Whatever, dude. It's been like a year. We still see it on the page. It's still there on the page.
I'll allow you that Telsin was in contact with it, but I don't think when the teleportation Star Trek transporter thing that summons us all here is bringing her with a couple of buckets.
That's fine. That's just investiture for Salon to eat up and Susabron to eat up to fuel their abilities. I'm okay with that. I have 4 other armies. I don't necessarily need the Men of Red and Gold.
You have one other army. 2 other armies. You've got Shalons and the Admirals.
I think to be fair, I think the Father Machine and Nightblood are going to suck up whatever Telsin's got to offer.
That's true.
Yeah, but they can't soak up what Dalinar is going to create, which I can also tap into.
That's true. That's true.
Only with Shalon, right?
We don't know if the others will be able to fuel off of the Stormlight that comes out of that perpendicularity.
That's true. We don't know, which means you probably can't.
We don't know that that's actually Stormlight or if it's just investiture, because it's a literal portal to the spiritual realm.
Yeah, that's
so
fair.
We don't know for sure. But even if it is
Zellion
just
definitely can.
That's can Lift.
Zellion and Lift definitely. Well, no, Lift can't. She fuels off of Lifelight, which she makes inside her body by eating food.
She can also suck in Stormlight, can't she?
Well, if it's just investiture, she can suck it in.
That's true.
I think if it was just investiture, wouldn't it power up the void light users as well? Like whenever he claps together the perpendicularity, it doesn't power up Odium's forces.
We don't know because Odium's forces don't burn through the void light like the Radiance do. Yeah. So we don't know if they do or not. They don't really run out of void light ever that we see, except for the husked ones. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Although I thought Vete had made a comment when she was up in Uritharu in the attic, and she was like, "I'm the only one that can do both Stormlight and Void Light."
I remember
she does, but she does that without perfect knowledge. She doesn't necessarily know that there's a source of potentially unkeyed investiture that can be tapped into.
She was standing right there when Dalinar did it the first time.
Okay, but that doesn't tell us whether or not that investiture coming through is Stormlight or raw investiture.
So if Lift has a not held bond, doesn't that just automatically give you the ability to suck in Stormlight? Added on top of Cultivation's special deal to convert food into Lifelight, which she can also use for some reason.
Well, let's go back and look and see how many times she sucks Stormlight out of a sphere.
That's
you
true.
have fun looking up that.
Good point.
Yeah.
Fair.
Almost never, right? It's always like she's always eating.
She always just eats. I think the ability to breathe Stormlight was replaced by the ability to metabolize food into Lifelight.
Because in the Battle of Thaylen Field, wasn't she like, hey, do you have a bunch of food I can eat?
Yep.
Dalinar's like,
she was
over there. So like that implies, when there's light everywhere, she needed that.
So
that's fair.
It's debatable, but I don't think she can take it in that way. But I guess we don't have the word of Sanderson to back it.
So Swiggity, Dalinar is staying alive the longest purely out of usefulness for everybody else.
Yeah. Yep.
The truce on Dalinar.
Let's see. I'm just gonna go through it like each person's character. Dalinar, we're just keeping alive. Renarin.
Renarin's got a target on his back for sure. He's useful for healing. I don't think he's gonna stay alive long.
Kaladin would never let anything happen to him.
But
he's useful for healing, but I don't think he can raise the dead.
I don't think anybody can except for the.
Also, he's not a good fighter or anything. So, like, all he's good for is like that healing aspect. But considering the rest,
and seeing the future,
yeah, his seeing is valuable. He could potentially see possible outcomes in the battle and be a tactician.
Would his future seeing ability mess with Atium at all? Do we know?
Ooh,
I'm gonna say yes because it messes with the foresight from like Odium and all of that. So
right, that's
I think it would. Yeah.
Okay. So there you go. There's a point for you, Swiggity.
I'm gonna search.
Does Kelsier have Atium?
Kelsier has Atium, but he does not have Duralumin.
Ah, that's a good point.
See, like, okay, for the healing thing of Renarin, that's only going to help Kelsier, considering everybody else on your list uses Stormlight. And Kelsier... And Kelsier's not going to stay behind to get healed. He's going to charge full in, just like, oh my gosh, these people are nobles. I got to kill them all. The people on my team are nobles. I'm going to kill them after I kill the rest of these guys.
But just imagine fighting Kelsier, Kaladin, and Zeth at once.
I don't want to, Swiggity, okay? Don't make me.
And Kelsier's
I know exactly
getting
one
healed.
character who could do it, and I didn't pick him because he didn't fit my team.
Vasher?
I've got Marsh. Just psychological trauma compounded by the fact it's a Lord Ruler level.
Yeah, Marsh is a very strong individual level pick. I'll be honest with you, I kind of wish I'd gone with my kaiju list.
What is this now?
I thought you were going to do that. I wrote
my original list.
Up great shell names purely because I thought you were going to.
Yes, that was my original list, was the kaiju list. I scrapped it once I realized that I could have an army of shades.
Uh-huh.
That's hilarious. You should save that for next time.
I will.
I think Nightblood would suck up the army of shades.
I think so.
Yeah.
And Telson,
for sure.
Portable raw investiture.
Okay. I think Kaladin and Seth are like the two biggest ones of Swiggity's team. But I feel like Seth, at that point, does not have Blade. He does have Blade. He has the Honor Blade, but he doesn't have Plate. And Kaladin was able to kill him after just getting that same level of effectiveness. I mean, Dalinar was able to do the suicide clap and like dispatch of him, but not kill him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
yeah.
Yes, he was able to defeat Gavilar. He was able to defeat Gavilar, but like we have seen that over time, he does not really do that well against other people with the same level of power.
I think psychological warfare is going to be Zeth's big downfall. If someone can figure out what
I got a
triggers
stone.
him. Yeah, right. I mean,
I got a rock.
I got a jar of
I-
dirt.
I think he's an awesome fighter, but he's definitely got weaknesses that could potentially be exploited, just like everybody else does.
Kaladin is the strongest on Swiggity's team. I hate because I'm guessing you're picking him at the
Oh,
end of
yeah.
Rhythm before. So he's got plate,
Mhm.
he's got blade. He's now super confident because now he has stepped from where his character is. I feel like Kaladin's it's just got to be because you've got Yasna, you got Zillion, and you've got other people he's not really prepared for. So I don't know where Kaladin lands. So I'm gonna on my notes I'm gonna underline Kaladin because I feel like he's the strongest fighter.
He's
and I don't
also
know.
got his best friend's wife fighting against him. He's not going to take up swords against Shallan. No
That's
way.
true.
He's still got a little bit of a lingering crush on her.
Yeah, I
That's
was gonna
true.
say he does.
And like Zillion,
Yeah, there's no way he's going to fight Zillion. Come on.
yeah,
He's going to take one look and be like, huh? And start having flashbacks.
but then like Zillion would not kill Kaladin either.
Correct.
Shallan though.
Well,
I
sure.
do
Shallan
like-
wouldn't, but
I'm scared for my Yasna because you got Shallan.
here's a good question.
Yasna would.
If I get Shallan, do I get Veil and Radiant also?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so Shallan wouldn't, but if Radiance could like logic her way into why it had to happen, it would happen.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's a good. You can make a
Okay.
case for that.
Swiggity, I'm sorry to say that is your team.
I think Kelsier could take out Shallan.
I think so too.
If he gets out onto the battlefield and just starts throwing coins before anybody knows what to expect,
Well,
He'd run out
doesn't,
of coins.
Can he? Can he?
Especially
use
if he
all-
had Atheum.
all the shard blades and shard plates in play. Can't Kelsier bounce off that stuff too?
you shoot.
I
there's
don't
a lot.
think
True.
I don't,
I don't
think,
think
you
you
can.
push off it.
I don't think
You
you
can't
can
push-
because it's
you can't push
because
investable.
it's not it's not like a
Oh.
traditional metal. It's it's metallic
Invested.
investiture.
Yeah. So I don't think
What happens
can.
What happens if he swallows a shard blade?
That's one of the big
That
mysteries
is a
of the
big
Cosmere.
question of the Cosmere.
Well, he's gonna find out. And that's bad. time.
Bravo.
Yeah, right.
So like, but also Shallan is like super healing. So I feel like if Kaladin were to rush, not Kaladin, if Kelsier were to rush out, the only people he could like legitimately harm are like Wayne, the Admiral, Telson.
Hey! Leave Wayne out of your mouth, buddy.
That would be a good fight.
Kelsier
Wayne
could take
versus Kelsier.
Susubron
But the
if
thing is,
Susubron
Wayne
didn't have
just
anything to
pulls
awaken.
out gun. Wayne just pulls out gun.
No,
And
Wayne
a
can't shoot
cane,
guns.
And a cane.
Wayne does not use guns.
Which point are we pulling Wayne from? Trevor,
Take your
which point
pick.
are
It
you
doesn't
pointing-
matter.
Yes, he does, because at
He-
the end of
he can
Bands
do
of
it
Mourning,
one
he picks up a
time.
shotgun.
One time.
And now he sees Telson again, so just cock that shotgun and let's go.
Well, hey, my team is, I don't know if you guys realize, super mobile. I mean, even if Yasna can't stay long in the Shades Mark for the purpose of this thought experiment, I'm still gonna allow her to mini teleport. Wayne is slippery as heck with the speed bubbles, plus lift sliding on the ground, loping in the air, giving aerial support. You know, all you need to do is toss knife blood amongst them, and they're pretty much safe.
See,
So,
the problem with
here's-
Nightblood, sorry.
Go ahead, because I think you're about to make the same point I am.
The problem with Nightblood is that anybody can take up Nightblood.
And
That's
if
true.
you expect someone on your team to wield him, you are now down a person.
You know who really is good at wielding Nightblood?
Kills you.
Zeth. Kelsier and Nightblood? Oh, God.
Yeah.
Hey,
If
he's
you
cheating,
give
he's
a
cheating.
Kelsier a
Pull him out,
Nightblood,
throw him on the ground, run.
He will
if you-
destroy the Cosmere.
He would take... Kelsier would try to take it, though.
he totally
And then he
would.
would get
And
consumed.
because all of his investiture is bound up in the metals in his body, he would get his soul drained so fast.
As long as there are metals to burn, as long as he's burning metals, Nightblood will leech off of that. So as long as Kelsier can like
Right.
keep replenishing his vials, he should be
Yeah,
fine.
I don't know how many vials he brought with him.
Yeah, that's true.
We
Yeah.
typically
I'm-
see like 3, maybe 4.
He
I
always
feel
stays
like.
strapped.
Yeah.
My
And
strat
we
is
do-
literally throw Nightblood, run, and have Yasna put an aluminum dome over us, and we're just gonna wait it out. If you come near me, we're gonna talk at you, okay? Maybe steal your hat.
Okay. So Trevor, like you said, Yasna is like the biggest threat on your team. And
Yeah.
I'm not seeing like a huge way to defeat her other than the fact like just
Can
her
she
combat.
soulcast? Can she soulcast the Father Machine? Do you know?
No, because it's invested.
It is
No.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
She would have to have more investiture than the Father Machine.
That's not
Which
possible.
is why I didn't pick Yasna, because she can't soulcast anything that's invested. And pretty
Can she
much
slice
everything
it?
else is invested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can she slice it with a shard blade?
Yes, but it would resist in the same way like any other invested thing would. So shard plate, aluminum, even though that's not really invested, like it would resist. She could do it though.
Also, one of the reasons I picked the Father Machine is because it puts up investiture barriers around itself to protect itself.
Oh.
Nothing's getting through that.
It's well, except for maybe hordlings.
Or Nightblood?
Nightblood,
or
maybe.
Nightblood.
Horde blood.
Yep.
Horde blood. Ants, no.
I don't know, because they sneak in and they're able to turn it off.
It is.
Like they beat it to death with rocks.
She beat it by stacking rocks and sucking souls out of it, not by throwing rocks at it.
Okay, so if it can suck investiture and then anyone and she can take the investiture away by stacking rocks, then anybody who can absorb investiture can also take investiture from the Father Machine.
Possibly,
with the same
but
potential.
It wasn't investiture, it was the spirit
The
thing.
spirits.
So you have to create
which
an
it
art
converted
thing that,
which it converted basically into investiture, right? So if it's the spirits and the spirits are type 1 cognate or invested entities, which is basically what shades are, then potentially, we don't know for sure, potentially, we could jigger a way to make that continuity chain mess with the spirits as well. So there's another way we could maybe get into your little barrier.
I would argue that she was able to suck out not the investiture, but like the, I want to say Yokihedra, but that's not.
That's what her title is. The spirits are the things.
Was there nothing? Were they not called anything else? It was just the spirits.
The nightmares are the cognitive shadows. They're basically the same as
spirits. Spirits is pretty much interchangeable with like Spren or
right.
Yeah. So like by creating art, one could suck those away, but also
and who can do that?
Nightmares.
Shalon.
I'm gonna art you to death.
I'm sorry. I thought you were making an army that's just gonna get sucked up by the machine already.
Which is an act of creation, which is gonna summon the spirits.
So we're just locked in a perfect circle.
A little bit, yeah. Okay. All I have to do is distract you long enough for one hordling to get in and chew that power cord, doggone it.
Okay, do you guys feel like you
but
made
it can replace any broken piece that it wants as long as it has the investiture to do so. It was repairing itself.
These two could go on probably for another hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
Well, okay. How about we cast votes? You can vote for your team, but maybe say if you had to pick someone, whose team do you think would win? That's not your own. John, I'll give you the first vote. I love your idea of just summoning army. That's really creative, really technical. I love that. That's really cool.
I love my idea, obviously, or I wouldn't have picked it. But if I was going to pick somebody else's, I'm going to go with Readers. I really do think he has an absolutely stellar build. I think if you take away the Father Machine, he's totally beatable. But that sort of bastion of invulnerability is pretty good.
He's got the best variety of all of us for sure, too.
Yeah, between the Father Machine and Zellion, I think he could probably take this with a 4-man team. Like,
yeah.
Like
I'm gonna go with Trev for my vote.
Oh dang!
I love your team. I think Yasna alone is pretty freaking spectacular, and then you got Nightblood in there, which hard counters. I think the machine and the hordlings and all of it.
Okay, Sweetie, you've got a great team, but only if it's like just Rosharans, and like we're gonna see this in like the next couple books probably. Trevor, I love the fact that you just made. I want to make all the annoying characters onto one team,
and somehow no light song.
I thought about it honestly. I thought about it. I didn't think he brought enough to the table.
Honorable mention. That's fair.
But like, I feel like Yasna's like the only one that has like an actual threat in the battle. But John, the fact that you came in and I just want any character that can summon an army, I will say I don't agree that all of them can summon an army.
Clearly. I'll give you that Teldane is kind of a stretch for that. Like, but she was the character that was on theme. If it hadn't have been her, it probably would have been either Renarin or Adolin during the perfect bout.
And you
just
only
because
get Nickleet, right? You don't get all of the Hordlings.
well, he's made of the Hordlings.
I know, but you don't get like
just
all
his.
of the Sleepless.
Yeah, just his Hordlings.
Yeah. Okay.
I gotta pick John. The fact that the army thing is just such a hilarious idea, and
Yeah.
I don't agree all of them to it, but Shalon definitely could.
I will say I was really curious who would go first in the draft, and I thought Dalinar was going to go round 1. I did not expect him to go first, but it is so crucial to like so many strat spaghetti. Like, I really commend you for doing that. That's ballsy, and I love that because he is, your investiture making machine. But I feel like a lot of the guys also came up with interesting ways to bring investiture to the table. Well, mainly Telson, right?
Yeah, she's the only other one who's like bringing investiture along.
That's such a like a
Rayana
character. I don't remember her.
Kind of. She was another one that I was going to pick because she also has the tendency to create midnight essence out of the black spores. So that was kind of like another one that I was thinking of, but she was gone before I had a chance to even get there. So
I kind of feel like bondsmithing is something that should be like the end all be all for, like, I should be able to say, yeah, but Dalinar's a bondsmith and everything you guys saying, but we just don't know like enough about it.
Well, Wind and Truth, if we do another round after with Wind and Truth including, I feel like Dalinar like becomes so much more because we learn more about connection and just what you can do with it when you are creative,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But boy, oh boy, when Wind and Truth comes in, my team gets way different. Let me tell you.
We only get 5 people.
That's all I need.
My team does not.
It's the battle of the 5 armies.
I got to pick the tops from each of my sections. So from fighter, tank, healer, mage, strategist, I got to pick my first picks on each of them. I was not expecting that.
I didn't either. That's so funny how we all came with different points of view and strategies. Cool. Well, everyone watching, please let us know who you guys think won. I'll try to put a poll in this. I don't think I can with full length YouTube videos, but we'll make it short and we'll get some votes that way as well. But that's the video. Thank you guys for joining me so much today. I really appreciate having this thought experiment with someone other than just myself.
Yeah, thank you. This has been an absolute blast. We're going to be talking about this for weeks.
We've been talking about it for weeks already.
Right.
I love it. Well, we'll definitely do another round with Wind and Truth and maybe even Secret Project 5, depending on when we can meet up again.
Absolutely.
I should change the landscape a lot.
If we do all come back for a sequel, we are not allowed to pick the same characters, though.
Right.
Like all 20 or just our 5?
Your 5.
Okay.
So that way you can like take from somebody else, but I don't think you should be able, because I feel like mine is not going to be
Father
affected.
Machine's first pick.
yeah. Father Machine and Nightblood will take those invested objects off the table.
Yeah.
Or it's something to think about. How do you defeat that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have
pick the Bands of Mourning.
Oh, maybe, yeah. Cool.
Oh, you could have picked Wax that one time.
That one time.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you all next time.